When you are faced with the night sky, there is a sense of perspective. Immediately, you're aware of your own scale and the fact that actually you're quite small in the scale of things. But I think also what it allows you to think about is that if we are able to transcend so many things and kind of get a sense of connection with something of the non-human, then how much easier must it be able to build those connections with our own species?
Rohini herself is a trained artist, and as long as she's working as an artist, she has been an amateur astronomer. And I think it's fascinating how she's navigating between art, science, philosophy, and develops something very aesthetic, very beautiful, at the same time very data-based. She said data is human because any data you're collecting is collected through the observer, through a human being. And it's about the observer, the sight, the observation, and all of this comes together. So science is not objective.
I feel like the whole show is also a spectrum, right? It's a spectrum of the ways in which we record and observe, measure, map, sort phenomena. And then it depends so much on who you are as a person and the ways in which you do that. So 100,000 Suns has voices which do this all very differently. So for some of them, when they look at the black of the moon or when they're looking at an eclipse, it is much more personal. It's coming from a very specific individual personal point of view. For others, it is about the geophysics of what happens between the Earth, the Sun and the Moon. So the idea really is that these questions, these spaces, whether it's the observatories, the scientists, they're all conduits to these fundamental questions that we ask. So what is the nature of the universe? How do we map its resolution, And how do those answers to those questions change what it means to talk about relationships between the human and the non-human? And these are very entangled categories, and I think that's exactly the point, that it is all of these things simultaneously.
The quality and the excitement of our Artist of the Year program is that each time with a new artist, all of us delve into a new world. And with Rohini Devasher's kind of navigating between science, art and philosophy practice, we touch something we haven't touched before. And I think this is very exciting and moving at the same time, because she shows us how human this is and how universal, and this is something very special about her work.
Borrowed light is an architectural term which literally means reflected light, right? So for instance, you have a dark room and then you're lighting that dark room with light borrowed from another room which maybe has a skylight. But for me, the word has many registers, or the words have many registers, because it also suggests something. If you borrow, there's an impermanence to it, there's a poignancy to it. It suggests something that maybe you have to give back. But it's not really about that. It's much more the idea that you're sort of thinking about the light that we all share, that we sort of draw from the sun, certainly. But it also is sort of a reflection on just this larger idea that maybe the connection that we share with the sky and what lies beyond might suggest an imaginary of living, or planetary living, that is based on solidarity and empathy.